Up with KREM begins now.
7 a.m. now on our Thursday morning. This morning, appointments are full at the new mass COVID-19 vaccination site in Spokane. On this morning, we'll detail where you can still find the vaccine.
Plus, traffic was another huge concern at the opening of the vaccination site, shutting down testing, which was supposed to continue simultaneously with the vaccination clinic. This morning, we'll tell you what happened and what's being done to prevent the same problem from happening again today.
Website woes. From the get-go, Chaz Health's website couldn't handle the amount of traffic to book an appointment for the COVID vaccine. The site crashed, so we asked the tough questions to find out what they're doing to fix the problem.
And we're taking you outside on yet another slick start to the day. But as skies clear this morning, temperatures are set to drop even more.
This morning, we want to know what your experience was like making an appointment. Were you able to get that appointment for a vaccine? If not, what happened? Vote in our live poll right now. Only 20% of you this morning are saying yes, they got that appointment.
7:01 now. Well, the Spokane Arena mass COVID-19 vaccination site is now open. Even amid some of the confusion, there were a few sweet moments yesterday. We want to show you a video. This is a moment I captured while sitting in my car after the show, pretty quiet. That's a Guards member, a Washington National Guard member, walking a woman into the arena.
Yeah, this video also got Governor Inslee's attention, Jen, who also retweeted it, and I think it makes sense why, because we love to see these examples of just going out of a little way to help someone in a process that might not be comfortable for them, right?
Yeah, absolutely, especially for folks who, if they have to arrive alone and navigate that process by themselves. It's a good thing that we have our Guards members there to help out. And of course, you know, we love our veterans, we love our service members here in the Inland Northwest. So I think that was a really special moment to catch.
And coming up a little later in our show, we'll talk more about what we saw unfolding throughout the day yesterday at the Spokane Arena. But we also want to thank you for joining us here on Up with KREM. As always, I'm Joshua Robinson, joined by Jen York. Jeremy Lagoo's outside. Hey, Jeremy, we were hit by the snow and the wind yesterday morning. Doesn't look like it's the same for you right now, but what else is expected today?
I am basking in clear skies and cool temperatures early on this morning, but Joshua was right. Not so much the case when it comes to that snowfall. I think a few places do continue to see some of that snow early on this morning, and with temperatures hovering right around freezing, it's a chilly start to the day, and that means icy roads following yesterday's snow. We saw some melting and now refreezing, and I've got that under my feet right out here in the Outdoor Weather Center, and that's going to be the case just about everywhere. Even where you see those temperatures up in the mid-30s, it's still cold enough down on the ground after yesterday's snow that we are seeing some refreezing and some very icy conditions early on this morning. We've got our steady stream of moisture, and that keeps an active weather pattern in the forecast throughout the day today. I think our showers are set to continue for a little while longer in northern Washington. For us, we're going to move through the day with mostly cloudy skies. A little later on, we'll see the possibility for some rain work its way in as temperatures climb to up near 40 degrees a little bit later on. So expect it to be a little warmer this afternoon and get a little more snow melt, but there's also the possibility of a few showers working their way in. I'll give you those details coming up in the full forecast.
Coming up now on 7:04 this morning, organizers are ironing out some of the issues at the new Spokane COVID-19 mass vaccination site. And new this morning, patients who did get an appointment will need to prove they are a Washington resident or work in the state.
And now the State Department of Health says going forward, you'll have to provide either a driver's license or a school or work ID. You might also be asked to provide a letter with your address, maybe a utility bill to prove your residence. And the vaccine sites won't make copies. They're not going to keep this information in any way. It is just to show that you work or live here. And as a reminder, these are the 4 mass vaccination sites in our state right now.
And of course, there are some vaccine sites around the state as well. I just talked to my parents this morning. They were on a wait list and they're able to get one in Dayton this morning. So there are areas available all around the state if you can't get an appointment at one of these 4 mass vaccination sites. But of course, here in Spokane, Chaz Health says all appointments are booked until Monday. And this morning, crews are planning to update its website to prevent any further tech issues. Yesterday, the site crashed just a few minutes into scheduling.
The website did go live again just after 10:30, and within 20 minutes, all of the appointments for the next week were full. That means all 3,000 Moderna vaccines will be given out. Our own Mark Hanrahan spoke with some of the last people who got their vaccines at the arena last night.
What's it mean for you to get the first dose of this vaccine?
It's relief, and just honestly, I'm just grateful. Yeah, I want everyone to get this.
What are your hopes with getting this vaccine today?
I want to get back to somewhat normal. My grandkids live in Florida, and I would love to be able to go back down and see them again and just be able to do stuff.
Now, both of those women say they logged on to the Chaz website right around 9 a.m. yesterday, and they were persistent. They just kept hitting refresh.
Meanwhile, hundreds of people did line up yesterday to get their vaccines at the Spokane Arena as massive traffic backups caused long wait times on the roads leading up to the entrance.
Yeah, and as Nicole Hernandez tells us, Spokane police jumped in to help control traffic.
Yeah, Jen, Joshua. So yesterday throughout the day, people were coming in those doors behind me on the other side of the arena, and then they were coming out these doors right here completely vaccinated, or at least had their first shot for the COVID-19 vaccine. And while all of that was happening here inside the arena, outside the arena where I'm standing, COVID-19 testing was still supposed to take place, but that ended up changing. They ended up canceling the testing in order for workers to help manage some of the vaccine stuff that was happening inside. Now, Chaz did end up releasing a statement about what happened yesterday that said in part, quote, "We needed the opportunity to see how best to move people through the parking lot." As Jen and Joshua were talking about earlier, the Washington National Guard was on site to help make the process go a little bit smoother. They helped people get to and from their cars, which was especially important during yesterday's snowy and slippery conditions. The site was supposed to close at 5, but workers were still letting people in for at least another hour after that. Chaz did say after how things went yesterday, it's essential that you confirm you have an appointment before heading to the arena. If you don't have a scheduled appointment, you will be turned away, and staff will continue to confirm appointments at the entrance to the site. But of course, along with some of the frustration that happened here yesterday, there was also a lot of hope and happiness because hundreds of people ended up getting vaccinated here yesterday. And in order to help make things move smoother as this vaccination site continues, they're just asking that you make sure you have a confirmed appointment and you show up a little bit early. Live in Spokane, I'm Nicole Hernandez.
Nicole, wow, yeah, our Sky 2 drone really shows the perspective of just how much traffic there really was. And you know, the frustration didn't end with just traffic. Frustration online also took center stage as the website crashed. And we spoke to people who say that it was confusing and it caused frustration because they really couldn't figure out how to use the website and kept refreshing. So here's what we know about what happened. Chaz Health's website crashed sometime around 9 o'clock immediately on Wednesday when it went live. Chaz says roughly 60,000 people were trying to book an appointment, and 15 minutes after the site launched, Chaz says its scheduling system was at capacity. Chaz Health officials told us they've worked to make sure their systems are stable to prevent this from happening again.
It just kept crashing and crashing and crashing, even though they had promised that it wasn't going to crash.
Frustrating for sure. The Chaz website went live again just after 10:30, and all of the appointments for the next week were filled within 20 minutes. Chaz says that their technology provider has since increased capacity to 300% to ensure technical issues won't happen again. They're also updating its phone systems with additional capacity to alleviate issues in the future. Jen?
All right, Tim, thank you. And of course, we have a lot of questions too that we want to check in with now. We want to check in with Dana Marie.
Well, clearly there was some confusion, especially when it comes to patients. We witnessed a number of people showing up without those appointments, hoping to get the vaccine. Now, it was interesting to see things unfold, of course. We had Joshua and Jen there from 4:30 last night until noon, and they had a lot of information for us, but they saw a lot of those people coming in and trying to get that vaccine.